Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to our today's tutorial on Payroll template, which is proudly brought to you by AC Academy. We are into art, engineering, and commerce, and we have our campus in Ibadan here at Eleyele along Olugweru side. Basically, what we'll be learning in this tutorial could be very helpful and handy to people in human resource and accountant, data analysts. Some people got job based on the fact that they know how to analyze and manage data. So it's important for us to understand that this tutorial will allow us to understand basic terminologies and also how a template is being break down, like a payroll is being break down, the structure of a payroll. Now let's start with I have kind of a table here, and the table is just comprised the record of staff. When I click on this field, it contains the record of the staff, the status, email address, and the likes like that. Excel is a spreadsheet program, but nothing stops us from using it as a database. Now I have an ID here. This ID are unique number, just like matric number each and every student has in a school. It's very unique. So you cannot assign this number to any other person. Now, once I want to control data entry, I can just create a drop-down list. I told you on several occasions, if you want to control how people enter data, so we use that method. Then the most very significant part of this template is I should walk you through. We have the serial number, the name of staff, the designation, the ID. You can recycle the names we have used in our academics template. So now this person as a manager, you can see the date of birth and also his age. We have the date that is employed and the year he has used in service with us. Now, this person has spent 4 years with us. This person 11 months, 16 years, 32. Now, this person that has spent 32, we have a maximum year of retirement, like 30 years you retire. So we want to have a situation whereby we can show that that person has retired 2 years ago. You can see here we have retired 2 years ago. We have the status of that person. Then, as an HR, the good side of it is you celebrate your staff. In the good time is the HR, in the bad time is the HR. So once people want to know that you are working, we can just say this person is 26 days to his birthday. So it will be months to his birthday. This person will be more like 5 days to the person's birthday. It's just within a week. We can say this person's birthday is this week. So now this person is having his birthday tomorrow. So based on the date of birth, you calculate this. These are things we'll be doing in this tutorial. And then I want to talk about flash field. Let's say this company now has a domain which they have an email which is assigned to each and every staff. Let's say Zaira Aisha, let's assign a mail to her. So I want to combine the two names together, literally email, then we put at apc.com. Then I'm going to come to the next cell and press Ctrl E. It flash fill the names automatically. Now I can see that our assigned name for Okedino Ismail at ac.com. So when I look at their date of birth, I can just click on their mail here and I send them an email just to show that the HR is really working and is efficient. Now, to continue, I have a kind of a salary structure here, every organization, so that when I assign somebody like a manager, I know how much is collecting. Like you go for salary negotiation and they tell you you'll be given a gross payment of 300,000. Now this 300,000, I've assigned it to the manager. Now 400,000 to the director, 250 to accountant, driver. It could be any based on the company structure of payment. So now it's very easy for us to quickly look at this value and take them in our payroll sheet. Now, this is the first January payment payroll. Now, under this payroll, we have the serial number, the ID designation, annual gross, how much the person is expected to be paid annually. It's more like just saying the monthly gross times 12. That's the formula we use here to get the annual gross. Then we come here, we use the VLOOKUP function to bring this to the table. Then we might use different kind of formula just to link them up back to the table. Now we look at the breakdowns of this salary. These are things we'll be learning. Now, when somebody is given 300 during this negotiation, you said you'll be given 300 monthly. But you find out that that person is not going to take that 300 home. That's not the take home money because the net income that the person will finally take, there's something we call statutory deduction and non statutory deduction. These are deductions that needs to be made from the total monthly gross. Then, before the person is now given the net income. Because government mandates that every individual, any organization that is more than five of the staff should have a kind of a tax structure and also a pension fund and NHF, that's National Housing Fund. So when you remove all this, because government don't want a situation whereby you will work for the entire years and you find out that you don't have anything to rely on when you don't have the capacity to work again. So there's a reserve for you that called pension. So you need to minus this money and the NHF, the housing, so that the government can provide you house, and then you minus tax from this money before you can get your net income. So these are how we're going to look at the breakdown. So whenever the first salary, the monthly gross is broken down into basic housing, meal, transport, medical, wardrobe. There's different types of allowance. So now these breakdown are based on percentage. You can see this percentage is 40% for of the total gross. This housing is 20% of the total annual gross. Then this 15%, this is the total annual gross. So this company is paying this person 540,000 for meal throughout the entire year. 360,000 for transportation, 360,000 for medical. You know, they could have all sorts of allowance, different travel and a lot like that, but it's more like breaking down into percentage. You'll be able to know how much each accounts for in the payroll. Now, when you look at the penalty, penalty is more like non-statutory deduction. Maybe if somebody doesn't meet up the deadline or probably violate the rules and regulation of the organization, there's penalty that will be given to the person. So this penalty is not like a constant factor. So we need to make is non-statutory. Like some people can also collect loan from the company. So this is also a non-statutory deduction, but needs to be made from the payment, from the gross monthly income. Now there's something we call CRA, that's consolidated relief allowance. So you minus this also because when you are given your money, government don't want to tax you on the entire money. I will still explain this with just a kind of a quick intro of what we'll be learning. So we have pension also, then we have the NHF, we have the total relief before we now say, okay, this is the taxable income. We minus the total income, total relief from the total income. So we'll be able to know the taxable income. So now government now tax this person. This person is collecting 360 3,600,000. But now the money that is allowed to be taxed on is this 2,660,000. So there's the kind of a formula that will arrive at that, which we'll be explaining. Now we have the annual tax. This is the annual tax. This person is paying 444,000 every year. Now monthly tax is 37,000. Monthly gross, then we now have the net income. There's so much formulas and a lot of calculation behind the scene, which we'll be learning in this tutorial. And then you can see we have January, February, March. You can just copy this and change the heading from here, change it to the month we want. You can change the year to the year which we want. Now, the beautiful part of it is that as a data analyst, we might want to calculate how much more. Let's look at the total here is 2,040,000. Now, let's look at the total here. This is 2,290,000 that the company is paying the entire staff. There is difference in the two salary. How do we find the difference? That's what we call auditing of payroll. So you need to audit the payroll to know what is the cause of the difference and why is the difference happening. It could be due to promotion, it could be due to some people left the company. There's a whole lot of factors, but this factor needs to be stated so that we can know what is the cause of difference. We want to be accountable to this difference. So let's get started.